Hi, my name's John Bowling, and this is my new life story. All right, so I met my friend Brett in 7th grade. I'll never forget when he first walked into the class that he shared with me. He was wearing, I think, a green Jello t-shirt, maybe a Nine Inch Nails t-shirt. And this would have been like 1992, and being in 7th grade, you didn't really dress like that. And so he stood out right away. Was just a different character, and we became fast friends. Did some television work together. We worked in public access cable, which was a thing back in the 80s and 90s. That turned into creating a whole class at our high school that's now like an accredited class with broadcasting. He and I also did acting stuff. We were comedy partners. We were in forensics together in high school. We did competitive improvised duet acting together. So we were writing partners and comedy partners. After high school, I went to Bible college. He went to NYU. He wanted to pursue film. I wanted to pursue ministry. Then he dropped out of NYU. I dropped out of Bible college. And we met back in our hometown, and we moved in together and started making plans to get into comedy together. We were supposed to move to Chicago together, and the day before we were supposed to leave, he let me know he signed up for the police academy and he wasn't going. So I already had an apartment all lined up, and I had everything already bought and paid for, so I went. I left Brett at home, and he joined the police force. And I went to pursue a comedy career, which didn't work out too great. So I came back, and Brett and I linked back up again. You know, I knew that there were things about him that he never wanted to talk about. His past, he didn't want to talk about his past. He didn't want to talk about his parents. He didn't want to talk about his thoughts on religion. He didn't want to talk about Jesus. He didn't want to talk about he didn't want me to express love in any way. He was just uncomfortable with all of that. And then I was working at the sheriff's department one night, and I got an email from the sheriff that was to everybody in the department. And it was a condolence email that said that his heart would go out to the Doolittle family. That was Brett's last name, Doolittle, and that it was an unfortunate circumstance. And I had no idea what that meant. So I called his wife, and when she answered the phone, she was completely distraught. Couldn't even talk. She handed the phone off to her sister, and her sister let me know that Brett wasn't with us anymore, that he'd taken his life. In the days following, I talked a lot with his then widow, and I ended up talking to his mom, who I was never allowed to talk to before, and found out that he had been abused as a child, that in all the worst ways. Everything that you might be thinking of right now happened to Brett. Turned out his mom never wanted to get pregnant with him, and she was very open about that and told him that he was just in the way and that he was a mistake. He learned to put up a lot of defenses. I think that's why he did comedy, and I think that's why he enjoyed laughing with people. That was the best way to avoid crying. And he was super fun. He was the most fun friend I ever had. And it's been 10 years since we lost him, but I struggled really bad. The thing that hurts most now is knowing that I never did tell him how much I did love him. And I never was able to explain to him how much Jesus loves him in spite of what his mom had said to him, and the fact that his father had abandoned him, and the fact that his grandfather had abused him. I think if he could have known the love that I know, the Christ that I know, that maybe we would still have Brett today. And so it's changed me in a way that I don't have relationships anymore where I don't open up to the people I care about. And I try to interject Christ when I can, even if it's just by my own personality of being loving and caring and kind. A lot of people don't get to experience that throughout their day, and they just experience cruelty and hate and anger, and that can sit heavy with people. It's sat very heavy with Brett, and that's why he's not with us anymore. And I don't want to lose anybody else like that again.